Even though it was not muktzah before, but we made it muktzah now.
No. At once Bein Hashmashas comes in, it doesn't. It's not muktzah. There's a discussion if there's a muktzah lechatzi Shabbos. But let's avoid that.
Okay.
Let's just say if Bein Hashmashas comes in, it's intended for use. There's no muktzah. That's the. Okay. V'chihada amar Ravacha barada amar Rav. It's like Ravacha barada says in the name of Rav. Amrila amar Rab Yitzchak barada amar Rav. Or it's Ravada's other son, Rabbi Yitzchak barada in the name of Rav. Hasheichet l'chela b'Shabbos. If someone sechts for a chela on Shabbos, asa l'bari. A healthy person can't eat it. Here we were discussing that Rav silenced the Tana. That he said that Reb Meir would hold that it can't be eaten on Shabbos either if it's sheichet because of a din of muktzah. Now we're going to see this over here. That if someone shechts for a chela on Shabbos, so a healthy person can't eat it. Here we're talking about
on Shabbos.
Sheichet l'chela b'Shabbos means that the guy became sick on Shabbos. Friday night he was healthy. In the middle of the night he says, "Oi, he's sick. We have to shecht for him." So here it's muktzah. The healthy person can't eat it. However, I'm mavashel l'chela b'Shabbos mutal l'bari. In my time, what's the reason why we have this distinction? Someone that cooks on Shabbos or someone that shechts. Regarding the sick person, of course he's allowed to eat it. Regarding the healthy person that's on the side, hi royalakus, v'hayin royalakus. This one at least was chewable. But the animal wasn't chewable before Shabbos, so it's considered muktzah. So therefore, even though the shechita was done in a permissible way because it was for a sick person, but nevertheless you have the laws of muktzah. Amar Rav Papa. Rav Papa says that pa'amim shah sheichet mutter. Sometimes the sheichet could also be mutter. Kagain shahil lechalim b'bayid yom. For example, if the sick person was sick by day, then you don't have any laws of muktzah, because when Shabbos came in, this animal was not designated aside, it was not set aside that it's not going to be shechted, and there's no isser in shechting it on Shabbos because it was for a sick person, and so it would be permissible to eat it. However, it's possible that mavashal is asur. That's why. Kagain shekatzes leidalas. For example, if he cut a gourd. There's two ways of learning this. Either he took it off on Shabbos, or it just had to be cut up. If it was attached on Shabbos, so then that's considered muktzah. It's considered muktzah. But if it's attached Bein Hashmashas, Rashi rejects the second view. He says katus means that it was attached, and therefore it's muktzah. So therefore, even though it's being cooked for a chayla or whatever, but it still has the loss of muktzah. Amar Rav Dimi min Ardai. Rav Dimi min Ardai says hilchasa. Usually the hilchasas in the Gemara come from the Gainim. Here we have from Rav Dimi. Hasheichet l'chayla b'Shabbos mutal l'bari b'umta. If someone shechts for a sick person on Shabbos, if the sick person was sick Erev Shabbos as well, then a healthy person is allowed to eat it. It just can't be just raw. You can eat it raw. If he wants to eat raw meat, he can eat it raw. My time, what's the reason? Kivan the ef shalikazayis basar shchita. Since the chayla needs meat, how do I get meat? I have to shech. Now, ki kashachet adaita the chayla kashachet. When he's shechting for the chayla. And now I have left over. Wait 1 minute and we'll go back to explain this. Hamavashel l'chayla b'Shabbos. But if someone cooks for a sick person on Shabbos, asa l'bari. A healthy person is not allowed to eat it. Why? Gezeira shemayarbe b'shvilai. There's a concern that he may throw in some extra stuff.
This is on Shabbos.
On Shabbos.
After Shabbos are different.
Right. After Shabbos. They may throw in some extra things for the other people in the house, and other people will be able to eat from it. So when it comes to shechita, we said adaita dechayla kashachet. There's no such thing as adding extra. You need to shecht. there's if you shecht, so however much is
What
in the
if
animal.
he picks a bigger animal.
It's a big discussion. You know, you hear from Menachem remember we were talking about if there's two dates, two figs that are attached that are on separate stems, and or you have three on one stem, and it's Shabbos or Yom Tov or something. Which one should you cut for a chayla? Remember this? This was in
Before my time.
Which one? It was in Menachem. We were discussing this. It's called marbe b'shiurim. That even though the shechita is all one malacha, it's on one slice. But the question is, if it's bigger, your result is larger. For some reason, no one mentions this in all of, in the basic commentaries. They don't discuss that it could be you're choosing a bigger animal. For some reason, shechita, taking the life it doesn't matter how big the animal is. That's one mice. Cooking, you throw in other things. That's a big problem. So therefore, and Alter Rabbi even quotes this. I forget where Shin Yud Ches. I think
it could be because shechita, we said before, is actually a hezek to the person. It's considered a downgrade in the value of the person.
We said by Avodah Zarah,
right?
If you use a knife of Avodah Zarah.
So it's a hezek. Therefore, if it's a hezek, if you want to be mazik a bigger animal, go knock yourself out.
Maybe that's part of it. Okay, now we have a new Mishnah. Sheichet b'magal yad. Someone shechs with a hand hatchet. Now, it's explained that the magal yad has two sides to it. One side is smooth. And the other side has is serrated. Or he uses a tzur. A tzur is a rock. Remember in the Moshe's wife Tzipora took a tzur and she did a bris. The tzur was a flint rock, which they can sharpen it and make it become very sharp. Ubakana, or with the reed, which also could be sharpened. Shchitasik sheira. What do they call it in the Everglades? What's the grass called? Sawgrass. Sawgrass. Right? Because it's sharp.
Yeah, it's sharp.
So, shchitasik sheira. Hakol sheichtim, u'la'olam sheichtim. These two phrases here, the Gemara is going to explain, but let's just say everything needs to be shechted, and you can always shecht. The Gemara is going to have to explain that. Ubakol sheichtim, and you can shecht with any utensil. Chutz mi maigal kotzer, except with a harvest sickle, because that has it may have a curve, but it's serrated. Serrations, is that the word? Bamegera, and is another type of knife that it's just not curved like the magal. The hatchet is probably curved. This would be it's also serrated. And Rashi uses the word ageres. Ageres is a term for some sort of nick in the knife. And when there was this boy that went to get smicha, so they asked him, years ago smicha included hilchos shechita. You had to know the whole Yeridea. That was Yoira meant that you knew Yeridea. So you had to learn shechita. So the rabbi says, what's an ageres? So he doesn't know what an ageres is. So he says it's a girl that's 12 and a half years old. No, that's a baigeres. So the rabbi then says, so what's a baigeres? So he goes on to something else. And it goes on like 20 different things. He keeps like making, at the end he says, okay, I'm not giving you smicha. So he says, why? I just didn't know one thing, the last thing.
When you do shechita, does that have to be your energy that does that thing, or you can move the animal under a knife?
We're going to learn here that it's possible to move the animal as well. As long as it's not pressing.
Doesn't have to
There's
be
no pressing. It does. But it can't be a chopping, can't be a pressing. It needs to be a back and forth motion. Bashinayim is teeth. There's a machlekes at what would be with one tooth. Could be, at least the way Rashi, it looks from Rashi, And the way it's explained, the Bartanura explained that the problem is that in between the teeth, there's you're taking like a jawbone or something, and the teeth are attached. So
Attached to what? To an
the
animal?
teeth are attached to the bone. Yeah, probably an animal's teeth. An alligator's, a shark. So, but in between, there's a groove, so that's a problem. Batziparan, or fingernail, Rashi says that the fingernail has a different problem than the rest. Here, all of them is because it's considered choking, and that nick is considered choking. Tziparan, Rashi says that has its own reason because it's attached. The Gemara says, Hasheichet, when it says someone that shecht, the evidin lechatchila loy, that means that someone that shechted, the magal yad, b'tzur, b'kana, those things, the magal yad had two sides to it. One side is smooth, or a tzur, it could be smooth. So why is it only the evid? Should be lechatchila. It's right. Shchitas ksheira sounds like it's valid after the fact. It doesn't say that you can go ahead and do this. Bishleim a magal yad. I understand why a magal yad, it has two sides to it. Dil masi lemevad b'idach gisa. You may end up using the wrong side. It has it's risky. You're using something that part of it is. Imagine you had a knife. One side was fleshik, one side was milchik, something like that. I used to joke about the becher that on the bottom, there's like a groove inside. So we would joke like this side is for fleshiks, this side is for milchiks. But you wouldn't do that. It's risky. Elitzur v'kana. But when it comes to the rock or to the reed, l'chatchila loy, you're not allowed to use a rock or a reed or a mini. There is a contradiction. Bakol sheichtem bein b'tzur, bein b'schuchas, bein b'krim shel kana. You're allowed to use a tzur, a rock. You're allowed to use glass. You're allowed to use the l'chatchila. Okay. The Gemara says loy kasha. It's not a question. Why? Because when we said l'chatchila, kan b'talash, kan b'mechuber. L'chatchila was talking about when you took the rock out of the stone, out of the, what's it called? Not the ore. What's it called when it's still in the ground?
Quarry.
The quarry. You took it out of the quarry, and you have the rock, and you sharpen it. However, when did we say that it's not good, or that you shouldn't do it l'chatchila? It's only kosher b'diavad. That's if it's still attached. It's in the quarry, and the way it works with these stones is that there's different stones that get mixed together with the way it. So the weathering of it, parts of it can get weathered away, and it leaves a protrusion of some sharp rock. He could go over to it with his animal, move the animal over it, like you said, and shecht over there. But that's only b'diavad. L'chatchila you shouldn't do that.
A kuti doesn't hold by this because he reads tzur mishaloachanu.
Over there, the tzur is referring to Hashem, right?
I know, and Mishalo is spelled different.
Now,
Joke.
if you look at tzur mishloachalno, it's actually a condensed benching. It's very interesting. It's interesting. Da'amar Rav Kana says, Hasheichet b'mechuber lekarka. If someone shechts at something that's attached to the ground, Rabbi Paisel, Rabbi Chia machshir. Rabbi Chia allows it. B'diavad. Machshir means b'diavad, right? So we see that b'diavad is kosher. So who is our Mishnah? Our Mishnah would be Rabbi Chia, because our Mishnah is talking about when it's attached to the ground. Adkan leika machshir Rabbi Chia ela b'diavad, aval lechatchila loy. Lechatchila it's us. B'mayu kimta Rabbi Chia b'diavad. Why are you establishing that the Mishnah is Rabbi Chia b'diavad? Let's do this different. B'mayu kimta. How did you establish it? Rabbi Chia b'diavad. It's like Rabbi Chia and it's a b'diavad. Eloha d'Tanya. However, there's a problem. There's a brisa that says, "Bakol sheichtim," you're allowed to shecht with anything. Bein b'tolish, bein mechuber, whether it's detached or whether it's attached. Bein shasaken l'mayla v'tzavra bein l'mata, whether the knife is above and the animal is below. That means you're going down on the animal with the knife. Bein shasaken l'mata v'tzavra bein l'mayla, or whether you're moving the knife in an upward motion and the animal's above. The animal standing, it's kosher. So the Gemara asks Mani, who would say this? Loi Rebbe, can't be Rebbe, because Rebbe says that you're not even b'diavad. If it's mechuber, it's no good. V'loi Reb Chia, and it can't be Reb Chia either, because I Reb Chia diavad en lechatchila loi. Rabbi only says that it's mutter b'diavad. He doesn't say lechatchila. Over here it says clearly bakol sheichtim bein betolish bein mechuber.
Bakol shachtim means lechatchila.
Yeah, bakol would mean lechatchila. Okay. Rabbi, if it's Rabbi, diavad namilai. Then even b'diavad it's asa. The Gemara says Leilam Rabchia. Ba'afilu lechatchila. Really, it's Rabchia, and really, even lechatchila according to Rabchia, it's mutter. Before we said Rabchia machsher. Behind the kamiflagi b'diavad. That they were arguing about b'diavad, leidiacha koiche, the Rebbe was going to say how strict Rebbe is. Rebbe says possible even b'diavad. Rebbe says no, Rebbe says no, it's kosher. But if you would ask Rebbe himself, he would say lechatchila. He was just arguing on Rebbe that says that it's possible. He said no, it's kosher.
So why did he have to use the term machsher?
Well,
he could have said
the case was set up to tell me the chumrah of Rebbe that it's possible. Rebbe says no, it's not. But our Mishnah says that it's only mutter b'diavad. And Reb Chia holds that it's mutter lechatchila. Rebbe holds that it's aser even b'diavad. Who's our Mishnah that says that there's a difference between lechatchila and b'diavad? Lei Rebbe v'lei Reb Chia. Reb Chia, if it's Reb Chia fil lechatchila, then it should be even lechatchila. Rebbe b'diavad namilai. If it's b'diavad, it shouldn't even be. The Gemara says Leilam Reb Chia. Really, it is Reb Chia. V'afil lechatchila. And it's mutter lechatchila. So why did our Mishnah say masnisin diktani hashaykhet? In the Mishnah that says that it's hashaykhet, that only b'diavad, that's Rebbe. 1 second. Kasha de Rebbe ad Rebbe. That's a contradiction in Rebbe. Rebbe says that it's also b'diavad. Like kasha. Kan b'mechuber mi'ikari, kan b'talashil b'seif chibri. Okay. It depends if it was attached naturally, or if it was detached and then it was reattached to the ground. So it could be, Rebbe says that it's usher if it's attached to the ground if it was never removed, but once it was removed and reattached to a wall, someone attaches it to a wall, that Rebbe would say lechatchila no, but the evidence mutter.
The reed back into the ground.
Well, we would be talking about the sewer or something, or a knife or anything like that you can reattach it to a wall. Okay, let's leave it over here, even though it's a small piece, but I don't want to rush. Okay.